Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2020 National Western Stock Show, Simmental Pin Show, Bullpen Show, and we'll be getting started here momentarily. They're missing one. They couldn't find anybody at Big J. So Rachel asked me when they was in. They're in the. She said she'd try to catch them as they got close. They're in the subclass B of the purebred pins of 3. Okay. Yep. Are you guys ready? Okay. We got cows. First class in the ring this morning in our Purebred Pin of 5 show comes from the Genetics Plus group at Tecumseh, Nebraska. First bull in the ring is Surplus, sired by Prophet. He's a March 11th bull calf. Hartman Cattle Company and Genetics Plus is owned by Mike and Dalton Hartman out of Tecumseh, Nebraska. They run 350 head of registered cattle. Their sale this year is February the 2nd. They have a family operation. They've been in the business for 35 years. They'll sell approximately 150 bulls for commercial, both private treaty and in their sale. And then they sell 150 bulls, by private treaty, and the balance are sold in their annual bull sale. Again, that's February the 2nd. They also have a female sale in December. Hartman Cattle Company and Genetics Plus, Tecumseh, Nebraska. Second bull from Genetics Plus is Ignition, also sired by Prophet. Again, these bulls are all purebreds. He's a March 18th calf. Third bull in the ring, Excess, again sired by Prophet, March the 15th. Our judges this morning, Chris Mullenix from Manhattan, Kansas. He's a livestock judging coach and on the animal science faculty at Kansas State. Assisted by his brother Randy Mullenix from Toulon, Illinois. Randy's a graduate of Blackhawk College in Kansas State, owns and operates Purple Rain Cattle Company, a purebred Hereford seed stock operation with about 200 mother cows in Illinois. I want to thank them for being here and helping us evaluate our cattle today. Fourth bull from Genetics Plus is Foresight, sired by Mr. CCF 2020, a March 2nd bull. Final bull from Genetics Plus is Perception, also sired by Mr. CCF 2020, born March the 11th. Pin averages on data. Bulls had a 1.33 square inch per hundredweight of body weight on their ribeye area, Average intramuscular fat score of 3.93 by ultrasound. Average fat thickness of 0.26. They were 3.82 weight per day of age. Average frame score of 5.6. Average scrotal of 42.5. Calving ease of 8.2. Weaning weight EPD of 65. Yearling weight average EPD of 92. Maternal calving ease 3.9. Maternal weaning weight 53. Stability 14.0. Yield grade minus 0.44. Marbling 0.1. The all-purpose index at 116 and the terminal index at 67. Stage is usually packed by now. Next pin in the ring today comes from Ruby Cattle Company at Murray, Iowa. First bull from Ruby's is Ruby NFF Currency 9171G, sired by Ruby's Currency 7134E. He's a March 3rd calf. Ruby Cattle Company is owned by Nate, Leslie, and Creed Ruby. Nate's the ranch manager. The herdsman is Miles Eddy. They run about 400 head of cows. Registered Simmental, Sim Angus, and Angus. Their bull sale is the first Saturday in February at Lamoni, Iowa. They have a female sale on Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, at the ranch. Second bull from Ruby Cattle Company is Ruby NFF Battle Cry 9153G, sired by Ruby SWC Battle Cry 431B, February 24th birth date. Ruby Cattle Company is located in the rolling hills of southern Iowa. They utilize embryo transfer and extensive AI in their operation, where they strive to produce functional, sound, eye-appealing, profitable cattle for their valued customers. They welcome visitors to their pen, which is number 2336, or at the ranch anytime. This is the Ruby's 14th year of exhibiting in the yards here at Denver. Third bull from Ruby's is Ruby's Currency 9178G, sired by Ruby's Currency 7134E, a March 8th calf. Fourth bull from Ruby's is Ruby's Currency, 9168G, also sired by their herd bull Ruby's Currency, 7134E, a March 1st bull calf. Final bull from Ruby's is Ruby's SWC Turnpike 9202G, sired by Ruby's Turnpike 771E, born March 31. Pin averages: ribeye area 1.37 square inches per 100 pounds of body weight. Average ultrasound marbling score of 3.49. Average fat thickness of 0.32. Weight per day of age of 3.04. Average frame score 4.7. Scrotal circumference 35.6. Average calving ease EPD of 10.1. Weaning weight 77. Yearling weight 116. Maternal calving ease 5.3. Maternal weaning weight 56. The average stability EPD is 14.8 with a negative 0.45 yield grade, a negative 0.06 marbling, 118 on all-purpose index, and 71 on terminal index. Final pin in this class comes from Hilbrun's Cattle Company, owned by Mark and Amanda Hilbruns at Clara City, Minnesota. Mark and Amanda run about 130 head of cows, Simmental and Sim Angus. Their sale is the Passion for Perfection, this year held April 11th. They use heavy utilization of embryo transfer with emphasis on cow families. They have 2 production sales a year. Their Jewels of the Northland is the first Sunday in December, and then the Passion for Perfection, as I mentioned, is April the 11th. All the pin bulls are for sale private treaty here in the yards, and they would like everyone to check out lots 3, 10, 12, 34, and 45 in the one sale, which will be tomorrow afternoon, also here in the yards. Visitors are welcome to the pen anytime or at the farm. The first bull from Hilbrun's was Hilbrun's Maximum Security, sired by Data Breach, calf February the 20th. This bull is Hilbrun's MB Tycoon G469, sired by Executive Order. He's a March 13th calf. Third bull in the ring is Hilbrun's Screenplay G5128, also sired by Executive Order, calf March the 8th of 19. Fourth bull from Hilbrun's coming into the ring now is AWSC Hilbrun's Get Up G2, sired by SFG Cowboy Logic D627, calved on February the 24th. Final bull from Hilbrun's is Hilbrun's Main Drag G416, sired by Ruby's Turnpike 771E, calf February the 26th. Average numbers on the pin: 1.26 square inches of ribeye per 100 pounds of body weight. Average ultrasound intramuscular fat score of 3.34. Average fat thickness of 0.29. Weight per day of age of 3.54 with an average frame score of 5.3. An average scrotal of 34.8. EPDs: average calving knees 13. Weaning weight 75. Yearling 111. Average maternal calving knees 6.3. Maternal weaning weight 61. Stayability of 12.1. Average yield grade EPD of negative 0.46. Marbling of 0.05. All-purpose index of 125 and terminal index of 77. Got a few young people I'd like to recognize as our judges are doing their final evaluation on this class. We've got several members of the American Junior Simmental Association helping us in the ring and line up cattle here this morning. If you're where we can see you and you can hear me, wave your hand when I call your name. Rachel Dixon from St. Louisville, Ohio, down at the other end, letting cattle in. Olivia Branham from Poplarville, Mississippi. Olivia. Grace Greenman from Goodell, Iowa. Grace. Where's Grace? Ah, there she is. Kennedy Early from Leeton, Missouri. Martha Minning from Hayfield, Minnesota, down at the other end. And Luke Harker from Hope, Indiana. Luke's right here. Thank you again to our juniors and to their advisor, Darla Agerter, for being here and helping us with the pin show this morning. If you haven't gotten your Power Simmental ticket yet this morning, they're for sale down here at the table just to the left of the announcer stand. We'll have Willie come out and explain Power Simmental to you in a few minutes if you're not familiar with it, but it's a fun way of being involved in the show.
Well, guys, what an exciting opportunity for Randy and I to be here with you. And this is, I know, means a lot to you as breeders around ringside as well. And what a great opportunity here. And we're excited to share our thoughts. And yet, at the same token, I think it is so important for those of you sitting around ringside to take this opportunity to see what collectively these breeders are putting together, and you need to go and study things that we don't have access to and visit with these breeders and find the cattle that work into your program. And because I think the neatest thing about this Pen of 5 competition that's standing out here in front of you, I think there's some different opportunities genetically. There's some different opportunities from a phenotype perspective, depending on what your program wants to do long term. That there's cattle in all three of these pens that are going to work and do an amazing job. So take that time, get out and visit with these breeders as you have that opportunity this afternoon. To find the cattle that work best for you. But with that, let's give all the three exhibitors here a big, nice round of applause. Excellent set of bulls. Guys, let's go ahead and give our first pen here a nice round of applause. That's going to be our champion pen right there. Congratulations, guys. And I think for Randy and I, some specific individuals that we were pretty fond of in that pen, but as a whole, I think uniformity was something that they brought to the table, and just some pretty unique opportunities from an actual performance standpoint to have the kind of weight per day of age that those bulls have, and yet uniquely to look over there at some carcass opportunities, the kind of marbling that they had, and still be lean cattle. I think that's a pretty outstanding pen, and fundamentally, I think they're functional. They're sure sound enough in terms of structure, but I think for us, what they did was match up, and kind of hit some middle ground in here compared to our other two pens there. We're really excited about the benefits that I think that group of 5 bulls can get in the right people's hands. So congratulations. That's going to be our champion pen of 5 for those exhibitors. Give them one more nice hand as they pulled them out. Great job. We can go ahead and pull pen 3 down there out. Give them a nice round of applause. That's going to be our reserve champion pen today. Great set of bulls as well, and I think pretty quickly you see just a big, rugged set of cattle, the kind of body and volume that they present. I know, we're kind of believers that color doesn't necessarily make uniformity. Type makes uniformity, and we see that at least in 3 or 4 of the bulls that we thought really fit together. Maybe as you start to get down to a couple of bulls that are one in particular maybe that's a little different in his type and structure than the other bulls in that pen. But I think a couple of lead bulls in that particular group that we might be as fond of as anything that's in here in the ring. So again, some pretty neat bulls there, and as you turn to the paperwork, the spread that those cattle have, the genetic opportunity that's there with those cattle is awfully unique. So definitely a set of cattle that have a lot of good in them. And then our final pen down there as they pull in, guys, Randy and I, as we talked, as each one of these pens come in, there's certainly things that hit you about each one of them. As a group, there's some cattle down there that 5 deep might be truly as good in the build and set of their hip and hind leg as anything that's out here. They're moderate cattle. They're cattle that have some double-digit calving ease genetics in them, and yet still back it up for moderate cattle, with some genetic growth potential there. So again, a very, very nice set of cattle that just come in a little bit of a different mold. That again, certainly some cattle down there out of pen number 2 that have a place for the right program. So what a great way to start off the morning. This is going to be a lot of fun. I appreciate these breeders bringing these pens of 5 out. Give them one more big hand as they head on back. Congratulations.
Thank you, Chris. The first place in his class in the champion purebred pen of 5 goes to Genetics Plus out of Tecumseh, Nebraska. Second place in reserve grand champion pen of 5 purebreds goes to Hilbrun's Cattle Company, Clara City, Minnesota. Third place to Ruby Cattle Company, Murray, Iowa. Congratulations. When you come down front here to get your Power Simmental ticket, we also have coffee this morning provided by ABS, and Select Sires has provided rolls. So if you would thank them, and it's right down here at the south end of the bleachers. We will take a brief break here to get pictures for the champion in reserve. Willie Altenberg, where are you? Willie. Come talk about Power Simmental. While we're taking pictures, I'll have Willie Altenberg come up and talk to you about our Power Simmental program. Really neat, fun way to participate in the show today. No, we haven't had any yet.
Well, good morning. Well, good morning. Just a comment about Power Simmental. This has been quite a tradition, maybe 15 years or so. Power Simmental, actually an idea we stole from Canada. Where's Bruce Holmquist? Give it wave, Bruce. An idea that we brought down from Agribition and kind of customized it for here, but these breeders nominate an animal. We started it with bulls and brought it over to the heifer pen show. But these bulls will have blue tags and the heifers will have pink tags, and they come back out and you evaluate them in the sand. You judge them. They have to be entered into the pen, and the producers, the breeders, pay $250 to nominate that animal. And you come back out in the sand at the end of each division, and you pick the animal. So it's people's choice, Power Simmental. And you pay $100. You buy a ticket over here. They pay $250, you pay $100. And you evaluate the animal. And the top vote getters from the percentage females, purebred females, percentage bulls, and purebred bulls come back into the one sale tomorrow night. And one lucky winner out of the drawing, out of that $100 drawing, the ticket that you get, that you participate with, gets to go down into the ring and pick from those animals. You pick a heifer, you pick a bull, and so that's the Power Simmental part of the program. And you take it home, and it's your animal. And the producer that had that animal gets $10,000. And it's been a great program throughout the years. Keeps people's interest as they watch the animals, and then you get the animal, they get $10,000. It's been a lot of fun, keeps a lot of interest. So as these people come in and Curtis announces them, you evaluate them. You're the judge. It's people's choice. So come over to the table. Cost you $100 to play. We'll take a check. We'll take cash. And I think sometimes we'll even take a credit card, and sometimes we'll take your good word for it. So thanks. I think that kind of explains it, doesn't it, Curtis? It's been a good program, and we'll talk about it throughout the show.
Thank you, Willie. Again, Willie brought this idea to the Colorado Simmental Association a number of years ago, and it's been a lot of fun. It's a neat way to get involved and have a good time while you're here at the bull show. And we do have some power bulls coming up in the next class. Well, we've got a little bit of a break here. I'll also like to introduce our board of the Colorado Simmental Association, a number of whom are here today. Jay Hill is our president. Jay's not here right now. He will be here this afternoon. Mitchell Jurgensen. Mitchell, stand up. Mitchell Jurgensen is assisting with the Pin Bull Show. He's assistant Ron Mari, who's also a director of the state association. And Ron told me a little bit ago that he's been doing this since 1997, organizing the Pin Bull Show, the Pin Show down here in the yards. And he's done a great job. Ron, we really, really appreciate it. And I would appreciate it if you would give Ron a big hand for all the work he puts into this deal. Other board members, Willie Altenberg, who you just heard from. Jolynn Midcap is, I believe she's down here helping sell Power Simmental tickets, as is Susan Russell, who's a treasurer and also a director. And Mick Micklejohn is also a director. Mick couldn't be here today. But again, we really, really lean on our board members here in Colorado to help put on this show. And when you see them, please thank them. I was going to say, where are they? We'll be starting on our percentage pin of 5 here. Just going to double check, make sure everybody's ready to go. Looks like we got cows. Again, if you're following along in your program, this is Class 321, percentage pin of 5. First pin this morning in the percentage pin of 5 bulls comes from Western Cattle Source at Crawford, Nebraska. First bull in the ring is WCS Full Platter 9802G. All these bulls in this pin were sired by WC Son of a Biscuit 83E. This calf was born on March the 3rd. Western Cattle Source is owned by Jock and Brenda Beeson. They're both out here in the ring this morning. Again, they're at Crawford, Nebraska. They have run about 600 head of cows, about half registered and half commercial. They have a female sale, the Foxy Lady sale, Saturday after Thanksgiving. They sell bulls private treaty anytime. Western Cattle Source strives to produce sound, fault-free, low-maintenance cattle that excel in the panhandle of Nebraska. on the short grass and limited resources. Second bull from Western Cattle Source is WCS Biscuit Eater 9038G, calf March the 11th. At Western Cattle Source, ranching is all they do, so their seed stock and commercial customers are their bread and butter. Repeat customers are essential, so they pay close attention to structure, fertility, cavities, muscle, and marbling. Their cattle must be easy keeping, so they run all their cows, registered or not, on the same feed and grass program, no pampering and no creep feed. Stop in and see them at home or at pen 2437 here in the yards. Crawford, Nebraska is a good vacation stop near the Black Hills of South Dakota and Mount Rushmore. If you're ever in the area, give them a call, stop in. I can attest I've been on their ranch. It's a beautiful place. Third bull from Beeson's is WCS Biscuit on High 9805G, calf March the 8th. Fourth bull from Western Cattle Source is WCS Lone Star 913G. Again, all these bulls are sired by WC Son of a Biscuit 83E. This calf was born on March the 1st. Final bull in this pen is WCS Biscuits and Gravy, calved on March the 8th. Pen averages ribeye area 1.21 square inches per 100 pounds of body weight, 3.85 average ultrasound marbling score with a 0.21 fat thickness. Average weight per day of age for the pen is 3.1, average frame score of 5.1, scrotal circumference of 35.6. Average EPDs, cavities 11.4, weaning weight 67, yearling weight 100, average maternal cavities of 6.4, maternal weaning weight of 56, and stayability of 15.8. The average yield grade EPD is a negative 0.24 with a positive 0.24 for marbling, 124 on the all-purpose index, and 69 on terminal index. Our second pin in this class this morning comes from Kaler Cattle Company at St. Charles, Minnesota. First bull in the ring is Kaler Promoter G15, sired by Ruby's Turnpike 771E. A little younger calf, born on April the 9th. Kaler Cattle Company is owned by the Ralph Kaler family, managed by Seth Kaler. They're at St. Charles, Minnesota. Run about 135 mama cows, registered Simmental and Angus. Bulls are sold private treaty year-round, and they have a fall female sale. Second bull from Kaler's is Kaler Tollway, also sired by Turnpike, born March the 10th. Ralph and Mina Kaler are the fourth generation owners of the family's 138-year-old farm in St. Charles, Minnesota. Their youngest son, Seth, is the fifth generation, manages the farm to continue for generation 6. Third bull from Kaler's this morning is Kaler Platinum. Again, sired by Turnpike, calved on March the 11th. The Kaler's eldest son, Cliff, is the CEO of the family's solar development business. Kaler Cattle strives to combine quality phenotype with genetic merit to help breed better offspring by utilizing AI and embryo transfer to produce high-quality cattle, along with helping market their customers' cattle. And then all bulls are for sale privately in the pen. They sell private treaty at the farm as well. Feel free to stop by anytime. They're in pen number 2537. I failed to mention the second bull in the ring is their Power Simmental entry. He's number 7. His tattoo number is G7, and his tag number is number 7. So if you've bought a ticket to the Power Simmental, when we get ready to look at our purebred bulls, that is a purebred bull, even though he's in the percentage class. National Western, when we have a mix of percentage and purebreds, they are automatically all put in the percentage pen. The fourth bull here is Kaler Linebacker, 05G, sired by Kaler Statesman 738E. I missed the fifth bull from Kaler's, was Kaler Curtain Call, sired by Main Event. Now we're starting on Oak Meadow Farms from Harmony, Minnesota. First bull from Oak Meadow is OMF DK Granite 20G, sired by Ruby's Turnpike 771E, calved on February the 21st. Oak Meadow Farms is owned by Dr. Lynn and Barb Agan. The ranch is run by Matt and Jessica Agan, Hunter and Garrett. Again, they're located at Harmony, Minnesota. Have about 135 head of Simmental and Sim Angus cows. Second bull from Oak Meadow is OMF Gojo G41, sired by CDI Mainline 265D, calved on February the 13th. Oak Meadow Farms have their second annual production sale. This year's be February the 9th in Cresco, Iowa. Performance with quality is their motto at Oak Meadow Farms. Customer service, success, and herd health are their top priorities. All the bulls shown today are offered at the February 9th sale, which is their second annual. Their sale features cattle from Diamond K Genetics and 5 Star Ranch as well. Third bull from Agans is OMF DK Grandview G90, sired by WS Proclamation E202, calved on March the 15th. fourth bull from Oak Meadow Farms is OMF Granger G77. He was born on February the 28th. The anchor bull for Egan's Pen is OMF Goodyear G52, sired by Cowboy Cut and was calved on February the 14th. Pen averages 1.25 square inches of ribeye per 100 pounds of body weight, with a 3.2 ultrasound marbling score and a 0.26 fat thickness. Average weight per day of age for the pen was 3.6, frame score 5.3, and an average scrotal circumference of 38. Average EPDs for the pen, calving ease is 11.9, weaning weight is 74, yearling weight 109, maternal calving ease is 5.4, maternal weaning weight 58, stayability 18.4, average yield grade EPD negative 0.4, with a 0.27 marbling EPD, all-purpose index of 146, and a terminal index of 80. Our final pin in a percentage pin of 5 this morning comes from Shockey Farms at Westmoreland, Kansas. First bull in the ring is SFI Signature G13B, sired by ACLL Fortune 393D, calved on March the 15th. Shockey Farms is a family-owned and operated Simmental ranch in the heart of the Kansas Flint Hills. They've been breeding and raising Simmental cattle for more than 40 years. Since day one, their priority has been to produce seed stock that are sound, functional, and display genetic excellence in the show ring and, more importantly, in the pasture. They believe it is key to pay attention to detail and to build future generations around successful cow families. They offer their top show heifer and donor prospects in their heritage sale every October and their best bull prospects in the gold bullion sale in March. They're excited to be in Denver again this year and invite you to pin 2737. Or you can visit ShockeyFarmsInc.com for more information. Second bull from Shockey's is SFI Tribute G15, sired by CCLT Alliance 91C, born on February the 10th. Third bull from Shockey Farms, SFI High Rewards 953G, sired by CLRS Dividend 405D, born on January the 10th. Fourth bull from Shockeys is SFI Reward G52D, sired by SC Pay the Price C11, calved on March the 23rd. The final bull in our percentage pin of 5 is SFI Unequaled 952G, sired by WC Executive Order 8543B. This is a Power Simmental bull. He is tag number 1. Take a closer look, or you'll be able to get down in the ring after a while and take a closer look at him. Pin averages for this for Shockeys pin: ribeye area 1.25. Ultrasound intermuscular fat of 3.9. Average fat thickness of 0.39. Weight per day of age of 3.9. Frame score of 5.5. Scrotal circumference of 38.4. Pin average EPDs: calving knees 11.6. Weaning 66. Yearling weight 98. Maternal calving knees 5.3. Maternal weaning weight 56. Average stability of 15.0, yield grade negative 0.38, marbling 0.16, all-purpose index 128, terminal index 72. Again, this is the only class in the percentage pin of 5, so our first and second place pins here will be the champion in reserve percentage pin of 5. As our judges are making their final placings, I'd like to introduce those ASA board members who are here today. If you're here in the stands or around the ring, stand up or wave your hand when I call your name. First off, newly elected trustees, Kent Bruner from Kansas, from the North Central region. Is Kent here this morning? And Barry Wessner. I know Barry's here. I saw him earlier, from the Eastern region. Current chairman of the outgoing chairman of the board, Gordon Hodges. Not sure I've seen Gordon this morning. Incoming chairman, Tim Curran from California. The treasurer is Randy Moody. I think I saw Randy here earlier this morning somewhere. There he is over there. Other outgoing executive committee members are Erica Kinner and Mike Foreman. The rest of the new executive committee, besides Tim Tim and Randy is sorry, I got to find my notes. Fred Schutz out of Texas. Steve Ihawker from South Dakota. And J.W. Bruni is the incoming treasurer. That makes up your executive committee. J.W. is from Kansas. I'm really good at echoing my wife, in case you can't tell. She's back behind me giving me notes. The rest of the board members, ASA board members, Tom Hook from Minnesota, Jim Ligon from Tennessee, Cliff Orley from Pennsylvania, Barry Wessner from Indiana, Tom Nelson from Montana. Where's Tom? Is he here this morning? Michael Foreman from Washington, Clay Lastly from Montana, Dr. Gary Updike from Oklahoma, John Griswold also from Oklahoma, and Greg Walthall from Missouri. So please give these board members, they put a lot of time and effort into helping run our association. Let's give them a hand and thank them when you see them in person. Probably while they're taking pictures, Val. While they're taking pictures. You got something to say today?
He's taking his turn tomorrow because Willie deferred to you.
He did.
It was a game over here.
They do rock, paper, scissors, or what?
No, just seniority.
I think he's calling you old, but I don't know.
What?
He can't hear either.
It doesn't matter. Wherever they put him, it's happy. If they want to put it over on top of below another tag, they want to let him know. That's fine.
We'll get done here. Bring the 2-year-olds off the shop. Go to the ranch and bring the cows home February 1st. February 10th. We've already had one happy calf.
2 weeks early. Just, I mean, it's the end of this week. It'll be 2 weeks early, and I figure I'll have a calf by then. So.
I was looking for the second one. Calf weighed 70 pounds. Yeah. We've been sparingly on effort.
I do see we have at least one foreign dignitary in the stands this morning. Bruce Holmquist. Bruce, stand up and wave your arm. CEO of the Canadian Simmental Association. Thanks for coming down. Second bull from Dickinson's is DS Mr. Reality 31G, sired by SFI Reality E43C. Dickinson Ranch, ASA membership number 110, is a family-owned ranch currently running just over 600 head of registered Simmental, Sim Angus, Angus, and Red Angus cows in west central Kansas. Dickinson's put an extreme amount of selection pressure on carcass quality and the ability to calve unassisted in big open pastures of stockpiled grass and liquid protein. They must be able to get their calf up and going and flush back to rebreed to stay within their calving window. Even their first calf heifers are calved in large pastures with only protein supplement and stockpiled grass. After more than 20 years of utilizing this low-input, low-maintenance program, Dickinson's have cows that efficiently produce calves for 12 to 14 years. Utilizing their seed stock in the current ag economic cycle, their commercial customer base is able to stay profitable with their low-input, trouble-free cattle that will hit the grid and pay premiums. Third bull from Dickinson's is DS Mr. Reality 187G, also sired by Reality, calved on March the 25th. Dickinson's will be having their 49th production sale on March 21st at the ranch in Gorham. They invite you to come check out the offering of yearling bulls and the select group open heifers. Please check for updates on their website, dickinsonranch.com, and on their Facebook page. Pin averages for Dickinson's: ribeye area of 1.29, IMF of 3.25, fat thickness 0.21, weight per day of age of 2.96, 5.2 frame score, and a 35.3 scrotal. Pin average EPDs: calving ease 13.2, weaning weight 64, yearling weight 94, maternal calving ease 7.3, maternal weaning weight 54, stayability 16.2, yield grade negative 0.38, marbling EPD of 0.18. Their all-purpose index averages 135, and terminal index is 72. While our judges are putting their final evaluation on this class, I want to remind you of the foundation gala this evening. It's put on by the ASA Foundation. It'll be 6:30 tonight at the Doubletree up on Quebec, the headquarters hotel. Really want to invite everybody to come. Got a great selection of items to benefit the foundation this evening, and of course the foundation auction, foundation donation heifer donated by RS&T will be sold tomorrow afternoon at the one sale. Want to recognize the foundation board as well. Those of you who are here, stand up. I'll name them here in just a moment when our judges are done.
Another really nice trio of groups we had to sort through here to start our group of three in the Purebred show. And I think after getting through these cattle, it didn't take long to come up with this group from Pen 1. Go ahead and bring them on out, guys. You know, this is really the group that puts all the good things together, just in terms of quality, in terms of consistency, both on foot and on paper. These are cattle that have some power, have some dimension. And, you know, as you study them all the way through, they're good down at the ground. They're good through their chest floor. They're cattle that I think can work in a lot of different facets. Just a really, really good pen of 3 here. I guess the decision for us was between 2 and 3, and we're going to go ahead and stick with power, stick with dimension, stick with just a little more performance in group 2 here. You know, maybe not as consistent as the groups on either side of them, just in terms of matching up these 3 individuals. But we probably thought there was just enough of an advantage in real performance and just in terms of pure muscle mass and skeletal width and substance in these 3 bulls. We're going to go ahead and leave them in the 2 hole here. Certainly, maybe on paper you'd like to change some things about these cattle. You know, maybe of the 3 cattle that need to get out on more mature cows. But we do appreciate our 3rd group as they come out. You know, you look at this. Our 3rd place group on paper, they're incredible. I mean, you study these APIs, you study the Kevin East Direct. You know, you guys know what's right for your program, but no doubt a trio of bulls, you could cut them loose on heifers and sleep very well at night. I think they're cattle that are built excellent through their head, through their shoulder, through their front end, really flat jointed. You know, cattle that are sound enough. And as we said, incredible on paper. Great trio of pens here. Really like this 1st place pen. Look forward to seeing them back out here.
Thank you, Randy. First place in subclass A goes to Hicks Cattle Company, Covington, Indiana. Second place will be Jackpot Cattle Company, St. Lawrence, South Dakota. Third to Dickinson Ranch at Gorham, Kansas. Mention those foundation board members as we're clearing the ring. Lori Eberspacher is the current chairwoman of the ASS Foundation. Lori, I know you're here. Where you at? Anyway, thanks to Lori. The other board members for the foundation are Bill McDonald, Emily Brinkman, Greg Burden, Aaron Owen, Holly Hatmaker, Kathy Eihocker, Brandy Karish, Scott Calger, Bob Million, Mark Smith, and Tanya Phillips. Really want to thank those folks. If you see them, thank them. They put a lot of time and effort into helping raise money to support our youth, support our research, support our promotion of our breed. So thanks to our foundation, and please come to the gala tonight. It's a good time, and can purchase some really nice items with the proceeds going to a great cause. All right, subclass B. First bull in the ring comes from Lee Simmental Farms at Columbia, Missouri. LLSF Genesis, sired by SC Pay the Price C11, calved on March the 2nd. Lee Simmental Farms is located in central Missouri, just 10 miles east of Columbia. Jerry and Barb run a 200-head cow-calf operation and focus on sound, functional cattle that will work in any environment. Embryo transfer and artificial insemination are used extensively. They have a female sale in November each year and a bull sale in March. Embryos and cattle are also sold throughout the year. Private treaty and visitors are always welcome. Second bull from Lee's is LLSF Gambler G385, sired by SC Pay the Price, calved on March the 14th. The anchor bull from Lee Simmental Farms is LLSF Vigilance G920, sired by TJSC Hammer Time 35D, born on April the 4th. Pin averages, ribeye area 1.48 square inches per 100 pounds of body weight, a 3.76 ultrasound marbling score, and a 0.3 fat thickness. Average weight per day of age for the pin was 3.47, with a 4.5 frame score and a 34.5 scrotal. Average EPDs for the pin, calving ease of 10.7, weaning weight of 65, yearling weight 95, maternal calving ease 5.4, average maternal weaning weight of 52, stayability 11.9, yield grade negative 0.46, marbling negative 0.01. Average all-purpose index is 111. The average terminal index is 66. Second pin in this class, it comes from Big J Cattle Company at Pilger, Nebraska. Their first bull is Big J Capitalist, Mr. CCF 2020, calved on March the 10th of 19. Second bull from Big J is Big J Holy Water, sired by MRTR Hammer 308A ET, calved on March the 19th. Anchor bull from Big J is Big J Disciple, also sired by CCF 2020, calved on March 15th. Pin averages, ribeye area of 1.43, ultrasound marbling of 3.35, fat thickness 0.19, average weight per day of age of 3.1, with a 5.0 frame score and a 37 scrotal circumference. Average EPDs, calving ease 10.5, weaning weight 66, yearling weight 98. Average maternal calving ease is 5.1, maternal weaning weight 53, stayability of 12.6. Pin average yield grade EPD negative 0.51 with a 0.03 for marbling, a 116 all-purpose index, and a 69 terminal index. Leadoff bull from Vestlane Farms is also a Power Simmental entry, tag number 4. It's VLF DDLC Worth the Price 4G, sired by SC Pay the Price C11, calved on March the 3rd. Vestlane Farms is owned by Ed and Mary Vest, managed by Ed. They're located in Polk, Missouri, have about 50 head of registered cattle. Their sale date is the first Saturday in April at the gathering at Shoal Creek. Vestlane Farms runs about 50 head of registered Simmental and Sim Angus in southwest Missouri. They utilize artificial insemination and put embryos in a couple of cooperator herds. Bulls and females are sold privately and through the gathering at Shoal Creek on the first Saturday in April, as well as the Missouri Simmental Association Golden Harvest Sale in the fall. A few elite show heifers are marketed in various online sales. Vestlane Farms has had registered Simmental for 35 years and has many repeat customers. Second bull from Vestlane is VLF DDLC Paid His Way 3G, also sired by Pay the Price. His whole pen's sired by Pay the Price. This calf was born on March the 2nd. The anchor bull for Vestlane is VLF Nobody's Fool 21G, calved on March the 20th. Pen averages 1.29 square inches of ribeye per 100 pounds of body weight. Ultrasound intramuscular fat of 4.58 with a 0.34 fat thickness. Weight per day of age of 3.67, average frame score of 5.5, scrotal circumference of 38.2. Average EPDs, calving ease 11, weaning weight 65, yearling weight 94, maternal calving ease 6.8, maternal weaning weight 51, stayability 10.7, average yield grade EPD negative 0.4, marbling 0.08, all-purpose index 113, terminal index 68. Here's our judge.
Well, another great class here, guys. Our compliments to the breeders here. I guess last night when I got the data sheets and had a chance to look through them a little bit, the thing I probably wrote down, just made a few notes to myself, and very little variation in this class. You look at the data that's in front of you, all three of these pens are double-digit on calving ease as a pen average. They all creep up near 100 on yearlings. So, just pretty consistent across the board, even across to some of their genetic values for carcass merit. And you do get over to their actual performance and see a little bit of variation, but just good cattle backed by good numbers here in this group. Give these exhibitors another nice round of applause if you would. Really nice set. Pen number 1, let's go ahead and bring them on out. That's going to be our class winner here in this particular group. Congratulations to those breeders. Give them a hand as they bring them out. And I think for us, the difference was just uniformity in terms of phenotype in this particular group. We were in particular, that lead bull came out, and Randy and I both kind of looked at each other and said, that's, amongst some of the better bulls we've seen here today. We really liked him, and then he was backed up by a couple of pen mates here that fit with him in terms of visual performance, frame score. I think all three of those cattle really, really nice in their own right. And as we said, one little younger bull in that group, but he wasn't out of place. And I think that, kind of fit together nicely for us. And their consistency here on the top end is what kind of made the difference, some balance and quality in those cattle. Big set of good doing cattle are going to be second in this group. Pen 3, bring them on out. Guys, you got some opportunity here, I think, to check some cattle out that not only have some visual performance, and weight per day of age here in this particular group. I know they may be a couple of the other pens here might be just a tick leaner in some spots, but those are our cattle that have some real marbling potential in them. A couple of them, I think one bull in there that scanned in excess of 5%. You've got some real unique breeding opportunities that I think you need to check out in that pen of 3. They're good doing cattle. They're big bodied cattle. They're cattle, I think, that put a lot of good together. And again, Randy and I are pretty fond of an individual bull in that particular pen as well that puts a lot of really good things together. Excellent pen. Then we go ahead and round things out. That pen there in the middle. Again, guys, you want to see some bulls with some length of body that have some real muscle shape in them. Some cattle that, again, I think fit together in terms of some uniform features in them, but probably not up to speed quite in terms of the visual performance that we see in those cattle. But again, in front of them. But again, a set of bulls there that, if you turn to the paperwork, have some balance and some spread from calving ease to their growth figures. I guess, again, a nice set of cattle there here, even rounding out this particular group. Congratulations again to those breeders. Really a nice class here. This is going to be fun as we work toward a championship.
Thank you, Chris. First place goes to Lee Simmental Farms, Columbia, Missouri. Second to Vestlane Farms, Bolivar, Missouri. And third to Big J Cattle, Pilgrim, Nebraska. Ready to get started on subclass C. We do have a scratch in this class. The first pin is a scratch from our S&T. So we're starting with Gertis Show Cattle out of West Point, Iowa. This is a Power Simmental entry. It's going to be tag number 8. Tag number 8 in Power Simmental. He's GSC duration 208G, sired by HTP SVF Duracell T52, calved on January the 20th. Gertis Show Cattle is owned by Eric and Tara Gertis, managed by Anthony Walton at West Point, Iowa. They run about 75 purebred cows. Their sale this year is October the 16th. They run a purebred Simmental operation with about 75 purebred cows and utilize a cooperator herd in western Iowa to raise their ET calves. Second bull from Gertis is GSC Unstoppable 179G, sired by Relentless, WC Relentless 32C. The Gertises own and operate Lee County Veterinary Center, which is a mixed animal practice. Tara and Eric have a 9-year-old son and a 6-year-old daughter. Along with their herdsman, Sippy, they have several young people help with their sale and show cattle. And they would like to thank all of them, especially Dylan Sutter, for his hard work in the show barn. They host the Buckles and Banners female sale every year in October and sell the majority of their bulls private treaty. Third bull is GSC Savage 9G, also sired by Relentless. Pin averages, ribeye area 1.24, IMF 3.87, fat thickness 0.31, weight per day of age 3.63, frame score 5.3, scrotal 37.2. Average EPDs, calving 11.9, weaning weight 69, yearling weight 92, maternal calving 5.9, maternal weaning weight 53, average stayability EPD of 15.2, yield grade negative 0.44, marbling 0.04, average all-purpose index 122, terminal index of 70. Second pin in this class is Kearns Cattle Company, Rushville, Nebraska. Their leadoff bull is KCC1 Game Changer 76G, sired by MRTR Hammer 308A ET, calved on February the 25th. Kearns Cattle is owned by Tom and Zach Kearns at Rushville, Nebraska. About 400 head of registered cows and 200 commercials. Their sale is March the 5th at the ranch in Rushville. Kearns Cattle Company is located in the northwest corner of Nebraska up in the Sandhills. This year they will be having their 31st annual bull sale on March the 5th at the ranch. They'll be selling approximately 80 Simmental and Sim-Angus bulls. They've really bumped up their embryo program, and nearly half of this offering will be embryo transfers. Second bull from Kearns is KCC Greed 3009G, sired by KCC1 Exclusive 116E, calved on January 27th. They strive year after year to build better bulls that last longer, offer more economic incentives, and check more boxes for their customers. So while they're here in Denver, they invite you to come and visit them or invite you to their 31st bull sale March the 5th at the ranch in Rushville. That's the only one I know of. But I just found out about this one, so. Final bull from Rushville is KCC1 Gold Rush 945G. He's also sired by MRTR Hammer, calved on February the 25th. Pin average ribeye area 1.2, ultrasound marbling of 3.81, fat thickness of 0.3, average weight per day of age of 3.57, frame score of 5.4, scrotal circumference of 38.3. Average EPDs, calving 10.0, weaning weight 74, yearling weight 109, maternal calving 4.7, average maternal weaning weight of 52, stayability of 14.4, average yield grade EPD negative 0.5, marbling 0.08, Average all-purpose index 125 with a 74 on the terminal index. He never show up?
Yeah, Wade's here. Wade is here.
Okay.
And Chip are both here.
Okay. We'll get them to talk while they're taking pictures after
Oh, that'd be good.
this next class.
Yeah, okay. Hey, everything worked out with your computer?
take another coffee since they brought more, looks like. Coffee, please.
Well, guys, for us, one of the closer decisions we've had today. Two very, very nice pens. Again, if you would give these exhibitors a nice hand here. Really a great set of cattle. You know, as you study these two pens, again, paperwork, really, really nice on both sets of cattle. I don't know that that's a big determining factor in our book. There is some slight differences from one bull to another in the two pens, maybe a slight edge in growth genetics for one pen versus the other, but really not a major factor in our book. I think that's one thing that's been really impressive is how good the cattle have been to this point, and yet they still, I think, all have fallen in a window of acceptability from a genetic standpoint. Now you get to figure out what you want to do for your program. We're going to use pen 2. Let's bring those bulls on out, if you would. I think a really nice set of cattle, and I think you could argue just a little bit, as far as uniformity of these two pens. I guess, the thought I have is in this particular pen, I don't know that they're exactly the same, but I like all three of those bulls, and I think that's to me something that that I think consistency is important, but quality is important, as well. And then you got to weigh those things out, and you got a couple of little different types in this particular pen, but a pen that's got three really nice bulls, and as we said, maybe a little bit of a growth edge. I think bulls that just have a look of fitting what your breed needs to be in terms of still offering some growth and muscularity, but kind of some dual purpose traits to go with it. Just whether you're driven by a commercial focus or purebred, I think there's some bulls in here that fit that bill quite well. Very nice pen. Go ahead and bring our second pen out. Like we said, we had a scratch in this, and I don't know what that pen would have looked like, but I don't know if it would have ever gotten in between these two pens as close as we think this is. And again, a very, very nice uniform pen here, a leadoff bull that's got a striking look about him, some cattle that are presented very, very well to us. Again, you look up and down the line in terms of values. You got strong calving ease genetics across the board in that particular pen, and I think some merit to them in terms of balance and phenotype also. So two really good pens. Again, our congratulations to those breeders. And if for those of you around ringside, go take out a look at those 6 bulls. I think you'll find one for you. So congratulations. Give them one more nice hand as they head out.
First place to Carnes Cattle Company, Rushville, Nebraska. Second to Gertis Show Cattle, West Point, Iowa. As Chris just mentioned, that leadoff bull for Gertis was a striking bull, and he is a power bull. You will have a chance to take a closer look at him here in a few minutes. When we get to the end of our bull show, we're going to bring all the bulls in at once this year. So you only have to get down in the ring once. If you haven't bought your Power Simmental ticket yet, come down and see Susan down here to my left. Get your Power Simmental tickets. Starting on subclass D, this will be our last class of purebred, pen of 3. First bull from Rust Mountain View Ranch is Rust Dark Angel 507G, sired by WC Nightwatch 84E. I lied. There's another class after this one. Thank you, Mitch. Rust Mountain View Ranch is a third-generation ranch located in central North Dakota, just north of Mercer. It is a family-run operation with Simmental, Sim Angus, Red Angus, and Angus cows, along with a couple hundred commercial cows. The commercial cows are used for the extensive embryo program that the ranch utilizes to progress the elite genetics bought and raised at the ranch. Each year, the ranch hosts 2 sales at the ranch headquarters in Mercer and 1 in Denver, which closed yesterday, January 19th, on CCILive.com. They would like to thank everyone who stopped in the pen, bid, and bought at the sale last night. Second bull from Rust Mountain View is Rust Legal Tender 7G, sired by Ruby's Currency 7134E, calved on January the 23rd. The bull sale, which is Thursday, February 6, 2020, is where Rust will be offering yearling and 2-year-old Simmental, Sim-Angus, Red Angus, and Angus bulls, along with the bulls they're displaying today. The fall female sale will be Monday, October 26th, where they will offer similar genetics and matings to the February bull sale. The October female sale will feature a select group of February and March open heifers, along with 2 or 3 featured bred lots that are currently serving as donors or could possibly become donors in the near future. Please feel free to give Josh a call at any time about their upcoming sales or just to talk cattle in general. His cell number, if you want it, is 701-391-9769. Or better yet, stop in the pen today at Denver or at the yard in North Dakota in the upcoming months. Third bull from Rust is R.E. Rust Backdraft 981G, sired by TJSC Boone Pickens 46C, calved on January the 16th. Pin average ribeye at 1.23, ultrasound marbling at 3.51, fat thickness of 0.32, weight per day of age average for the pin of 3.46 with a 5.3 frame score and a 42.5 scrotal circumference. Calving easy PD at 12.2 for the average, 71 weaning weight, 106 yearling weight, 5.6 maternal calving ease, 53 average maternal weaning weight, with a 17 on stayability, a negative 0.43 yield grade, 0.13 marbling, average all-purpose index of 135, and terminal index of 74. Yeah, that's about right. It's not showing up here. Yeah, it does. Where's Springer at? I thought he wasn't coming back this year. coming? Okay, our second pin in this class from Springer Simmental at Cresco, Iowa. Leadoff bull for Springers is SAS Bitten G354, sired by Erickson Bitten 203A. Their entire pin is sired by Bitten. This calf was born on February the 10th. 2020 makes the 20th year that Springer Simmental has exhibited pin bulls at the National Western. Over the years, the bulls have gone from receiving their first bath at the stock show and never having a halter on them to the professionalism of fitting and feeding that you see today. What has not changed is Springer's commitment to producing seed stock that can truly do it all. They prioritize calf vigor and mothering ability. Big sound hooves, testicle size, and structural correctness are next in line, followed by the ability to survive and thrive on forage. Springers expect their cattle to give you maximum profitability without problems of any kind throughout their lifetime. A quick check of the EPDs and their sale offering shows growth, maternal calving ease, and stayability in the top echelon of the breed. Make plans to be with Springers on February 1st in Decorah, Iowa, in person or online to select your next herd-improving herd sire or female. Jeff would like to thank his family for all their help and support through the years. Also wants to thank everyone who's helped exhibit cattle here and the current group of awesome young people helping today. Special thanks to Colorado Simmental Association for making this truly one of the most unique and greatest cattle shows in the world. Thanks, Jeff. Second bull from Springers is SAS Bitten G377. The anchor bull from Springers is SAS Bitten G500. He's a January 1st baby. Pin averages, ribeye area 1.25, IMF of 3.95, fat thickness 0.27, average weight per day of age of 3.3, frame score of 5.5 with a 39.7 scrotal circumference. Average EPDs 12.8 calving ease, 73 weaning, 109 yearling, 7.1 maternal calving ease, 65 maternal weaning weight, average stayability EPD of 18.7, yield grade negative 0.48, marbling 0.08, average all-purpose index of 137, and terminal index of 75. Again, I want to thank our junior board, American Junior Simmental Association board that's here helping today. Rachel Dixon from St. Louisville, Ohio. Olivia Branham, Poplarville, Mississippi. Grace Greenman from Goodale, Iowa, Kennedy Early, Leeton, Missouri, Martha Minning, Hayfield, Minnesota, and Luke Harker from Hope, Indiana. Thanks, kids.
Just two pens out here, but a world of quality on both ends, and a lot of things you can hang your hat on these cattle, both on paper and on foot. I think a great group. Another round of applause for these two groups out here in front of us. You know, we're going to go ahead and stick with Group 1 here. Go ahead and pull those guys out. You know, as Chris and I studied these, I think as you study them as individuals, I think the totals of these three individuals and their qualities would surface them to the top. You know, maybe not as uniform on paper or on foot, you know, standing there as our second place group, but certainly when you turn these cattle loose in terms of structure, in terms of longevity, just in terms of just overall strikingness and quality of look, you know, we like these better. Just cattle that are really built through their front end well. That lead bull, you know, you study this guy on paper. He's a 17-4 calving. He's direct 143 API. He looks like it. I'd turn him loose on heifers in a heartbeat. He looks like that calving ease is built in. I think a really, really good individual. And then you have two really high-quality bulls to go with him. Like we said, not exactly peas in a pod, but very good cattle that have a lot of similar traits and plenty enough to go ahead and win this class today. The pairs that, or the group that comes out in second, you got to love these guys on paper. You got to love their consistency on foot in terms of just frame size, in terms of balance and squareness and look. I guess compared to this other group, when you get these guys out and set them in motion, you love the ruggedness and the bone and the substances they possess. But maybe compared to this other group that goes ahead and wins today, we just like to loosen them up, you know, for when they go out and get and cover those cows. Just like to loosen that structure a bit. But, boy, a lot of power, a lot of dimension, just a lot of shape in these bulls. Two tremendously, tremendously good groups. Look forward to seeing them back out here.
First place in subclass D to Rust Mountain View Ranch of Mercer, North Dakota. Second place to Springer Simmental of Cresco, Iowa. Now we're ready for the final class in the purebred division. First bull in the ring from the Genetics Plus group of Tecumseh, Nebraska is Chuckwagon, sired by Prophet, calved on January the 24th. Hartman Cattle Company and Genetics Plus is owned by Mike and Dalton Hartman, managed by Dalton at Tecumseh, Nebraska. They run about 350 head of cows. Their sale date is February the 2nd this year. They're a family operation. They've been in the business for 35 years. They'll sell approximately 150 bulls for commercial producers, private treaty. The rest are held for their annual bull sale, which again is February the 2nd. They also host a customer female sale in December. Second bull from Genetics Plus is Outcast, sired by Outlaw, calved on January the 23rd. The anchor bull from Genetics Plus is Payweight, sired by ACLL Fortune 393D, born on January the 20th. Pen averages, ribeye area 1.21, IMF of 3.85, fat thickness of 0.35. Average weight per day of age of 3.67 with a 5.4 frame score and a 43.2 scrotal circumference. Average EPDs, calving ease 7.3, weaning weight 65, yearling weight 90, maternal calving ease 3.1, maternal weaning weight of 52. Average stayability EPD of 12.6 with a negative 0.41 yield grade, 0.09 marbling, a 110 all-purpose index, and 66 on terminal index. Our second pin today in this subclass comes from Harker Simmental at Hope, Indiana. First bull, leadoff bull, is Harker's Sharpshooter G211. The entire pin is sired by WC Relentless 32C. This calf was born on January the 18th. Harker Simmental is owned by John Harker and family and managed by Dan in Hope, Indiana. Have about 135 head of cows, both purebred and percentage. The Field of Dreams sale is held Saturday, October 3rd. This year is Saturday, October 3rd. For 35 years, Harker Simmental is focused on producing high-quality Simmental and Simgenetic seed stock. They're located in southeast Indiana, and their mission is to raise sound, functional breeding cattle that will work for purebred cattlemen as well as the commercial cattlemen. For 15 years, Harkers have hosted the Field of Dreams production sale. The sale focuses on selling open and bred Simmental and percentage Simmental females. The Field of Dreams sale will occur on Saturday, October 3rd, with other Simmental breeders from Indiana and Kentucky. They also have a lot 27 in the one sale tomorrow afternoon. Second bull from Harker's is Harker's Truman G207, calved on January the 20th. Third bull is Harker's Driving Edge. Again, this whole pin was sired by Relentless. This calf was born on January the 15th. Pin average EPDs, ribeye area 1.27. Ultrasound marbling of 3.43. Fat thickness of 0.24. Weight per day of age of 3.6 with a 5.3 frame score and a 39.8 scrotal. Average EPDs, calving ease 9.4. Weaning weight 67, yearling weight 92, maternal calving ease of 4.5. Maternal weaning weight EPD of 52, stayability of 12, with a negative 0.48 yield grade, 0.08 marbling, 113 all-purpose index, and a 68 terminal index. Just looking at their numbers, it appears this is a pin of all full sibs, full brothers. Final pin in this class comes from Ruby Cattle Company at Murray, Iowa. Their leadoff bull is Ruby's Significant 901G, sired by WBF Significant B132, calved on January the 1st. Ruby Cattle is owned by Nate Leslie and Creed Ruby. Nate manages the ranch with help from herdsman Miles Eddy. They run about 400 head of registered Simmental, Sim-Angus, and Angus cows. Their bull sale is the first Saturday in February. This year, that's February the 1st, be held at Lamoni, Iowa. Their female sale is held on Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, at the ranch. Second bull from Ruby's is Ruby's Turnpike 956G, sired by Ruby's Turnpike 771E and calved on January the 11th. Ruby Cattle Company is located in the rolling hills of southern Iowa. They utilize embryo transfer and extensive AI in their operation. They strive to raise functional, sound, eye-appealing, profitable cattle for their valued customers. They welcome visitors to their pen, which is number 2336, or at the ranch anytime. This is the Ruby's 14th year of exhibiting in the yards here at Denver. Final bull from Ruby's is Ruby's Significant 935G, also sired by Turnpike on January the 5th. Pin averages, ribeye area of 1.21, IMF of 3.72, and a fat thickness of 0.33. Average weight per day of age of 3.28 with a 5.2 frame score and a 39.8 scrotal circumference. Average pin EPDs, cavities 15.4. A 92 on weaning weight and a 141 on yearling. 7.4 maternal cavities with a 66 maternal weaning weight and a 16.8 stayability. Average yield grade EPD of a negative 0.49 with a 0.12 marbling. Average all-purpose index of 146. Terminal index is 87. As our judges finish evaluating this pin, we'll remind you our judge today, our chief judge, head judge today is Chris Mullenix from Manhattan, Kansas. Chris is on the animal science faculty at Kansas State University and is the current judging team coach there. He's assisted today by his brother Randy from Toulon, Illinois. Randy's a graduate of Black Hawk College and Kansas State University, and he owns Purple Rain Cattle Company, a purebred seed stock operation with approximately 200 mother cows. I want to thank the Mullenix brothers for coming today and evaluating our cattle.
Again, guys, what a wonderful set of cattle here, brought to you by some great breeders, and Randy and I both, we've been just in amazement here, and every one of these groups, whether they're your kind of cattle or not, I think you can kind of appreciate the opportunity that's here for you as breeders to kind of search through these bulls and find what suits your program the best, because every one of these pens, 3s, 5s that we've had out here have had some outstanding individuals, so we compliment the breeders. Again, as we look to the data set, a little depends on where you want to, emphasize performance values and what things are going to be the biggest criteria for you as you search through the genetic opportunity that you have within your breed. So, but again, I look at the numbers. We looked at the numbers and said there's not a bad numbered pen in this entire group. Again, there is some differences, and we'll get to maybe some of the advantages perhaps that one pen in particular might have, but all three pens pretty nice. And for us, pretty comfortably, though, let's lead this first pen out. Bring them on out here, guys. Give them a nice round of applause if you would. That's a pretty darn nice pen of bulls right there. Again, in this particular group, I think in terms of combining, quality with uniformity, that group of bulls, did it really pretty nice. They're cattle that have some balance and look about them. I think in terms of feet and leg structure, they're probably as strong both at the ground as a group and the way they maintain themselves as they get in motion as anything that's in this particular group. I think just a really, really nice set of cattle. They're shaped right. They're lean still. Just a very, very nice set of cattle led off by a pretty nice leadoff bull there. We really like that group quite well. Pen 2, let's go ahead and bring those cattle out. They're going to be second in this group, and again, a really, really nice set of cattle. They're muscular cattle. We really did like this leadoff bull. He's built out of a little different mold than some of the cattle that we've seen out here. He's moderate, but he's moderate with power and mass and body in him. I think a lot of uniqueness to that guy. Maybe not quite, even though they're obviously full sibs. You can see that in their data set. They're identical across the board genetically. I don't know that they necessarily do that phenotypically, but that's kind of unique in the fact that you've got some different pieces in some of those cattle that are out there. But again, a very, very nice set of cattle sitting there in the second hole. Guys, pull that third pen out. And, obviously we're going to have our opinion from the way we like to line these up as pens today. There might be individual bulls in that final pen that you need to go look at as quickly as anything that stands out here. And last night I had an opportunity when I was looking through the data set. I'll just tell you what I wrote next to it. I wrote insane. That is one incredible set of genetic values on that set of bulls down there to run from a 15.4 pen average on calving ease and still up into the 140 range on yearling. To have that kind of spread and value genetically behind those cattle is something that is pretty tough to find. So I encourage you, to study that, and if that's something you need to emphasize in your program, go take a look at those bulls. And again, maybe a little variation in those bulls, and maybe some things that some of these bulls in front of them did a little different in front end structure, but again, a really nice set of cattle top to bottom. Congratulations to all those exhibitors. Great final class here.
First class in subclass E to Genetic Plus Group, Tecumseh, Nebraska. Second to Harker Simmental of Hope, Indiana. And third to Ruby Cattle Company of Murray, Iowa. We'll now have the selection of our Grand and Reserve Champion Purebred pen of 3. Bring back in our first place pens. You're just gonna bring the first place out to begin with, right? Or are you gonna bring the first and second? Huh? As long as it takes them to pick champion. That's what we're ready. Okay. Yeah, there was one more class in this deal than I thought there was when I told you 10 minutes. What's that? No, they're bringing the champion in right now. I believe so. So for our champions, we should have Hicks Cattle Company coming into the ring right now from Covington, Indiana. Also be Lee Simmental Farms, Kearns Cattle Company, Russ Mountain View Ranch, and the Genetics Plus Group. Again, this is a winner of Subclass A from Hicks Cattle Company. Do have a Power Simmental entry in this class as well. So you're going to bring all the purebreds in, and then you'll bring both percentages in. Yeah. Okay. But you won't bring them all at once. Right. Okay.
Just so that.
So we don't get confused.
Just so they are waiting outside the ring.
Right. Okay. Winning pen from Subclass B comes from Lee Simmental Farms at Columbia, Missouri. For those of you who have your Power Simmental entries, or for those around the ring showing cattle with Power Simmental entries. The way we'll do our judging today, at the conclusion of the percentage pin of 3, after we've taken pictures, we'll bring in the purebred bulls. I believe there's 7 purebred bulls that will come in. Everybody will get a chance to evaluate those 7 purebreds, and then we'll immediately bring in the 2 percentage bulls after that for your evaluation. So you'll have 2 evaluations today, 1 purebred bulls, 1 percentage bulls. That will all be done after the percentage show is completed. Winner of Subclass C from Kearns Cattle Company, Rushville, Nebraska. Again, I want to thank our state board here in Colorado for all the hard work they do putting on this show. This year, Jay Hill is our president, Mitch Jurgensen is vice president, Susan Russell is secretary-treasurer, Willie Altenberg, Ron Murray, Mick Micklejohn, and Jolynn Midcap are our other directors. If you see those folks, please thank them, shake their hand. They put in a lot of time and effort to help put on this event. Winner of Subclass D comes from Rust Mountain View Ranch. After our judges have selected their champion, we'll bring in the second place out of that subclass for their selection of reserve champion.
Hey, how's it going?
Lori, you want to say a few words about the foundation?
Yeah, good news is so they're winning.
And just a second. Our final pin coming in for the selection of champion. Purebred pin of 3 comes from Genetics Plus Group, Tecumseh, Nebraska. Want to put Lori Eberspacher on the mic here for a few minutes to talk about the Simmental Foundation.
Everything's
Well, thank you, and welcome, everyone. I am Lori Eberspacher. I'm your chairperson for the American Simmental Symbol Foundation. Would like to invite you to our gala tonight, which starts at 6:30. We have Miss Caitlin Oshner lined up, who is an up-and-coming star from Nashville, will be performing. We also have a great lineup for our foundation fundraising auction. Lots of fun things, and everyone's invited. So plan to come over to the DoubleTree about 6:30, and let's have some fun.
Thank you, Lori. Really is a good time. If you've never been to the foundation auction this evening, come out. It's a good time. Our entertainment tonight is a homegrown girl here from Colorado. So I think you'll really appreciate it and have fun. Probably right after they pick champion. Or Chip. You can go ahead and do it now, and then I can do Wade then. What's your title? Director of Industry Relations. While our judges are making their final selection for champion, I'd like Chip Hines from Simmental Association to come up. He's the Director of Industry Relations. Chip's got a few words to say.
We just wanted to take just a moment on behalf of the association to congratulate those of you who've had the privilege to get to this point, and all the other exhibitors who've worked so hard today. What a privilege and what an honor to watch you all do your craft, and then to see two talented evaluators that we have out here working as diligently as they are to really just hone in on what makes sense for them as the judges today. And frankly, what an honor for those of you in the seats, right? What a privilege to get to see this atmosphere. And I'm just going to steal a phrase from a much smarter man and a more succinct man than myself. And just the other day, a good friend said something really simple. Matt Fisher, it has never been easier to sell Simmental. And you all know that, whether you're a semi-breeder yourself, you're a closet fan, and maybe you got some British cows back home and you snuck in here and you know you need to be doing this, and you're like, okay, I'm going to come in here and see what this is all about. Regardless, the semi-business is at a spot that, frankly, we've never seen. And I know you've never seen it because it's never been there. And so we are privileged and proud to have these representatives and these talented men to talk about these representatives in a moment. So on behalf of the association, on behalf of our membership, on behalf of the commercial beef business, congratulations to all of you.
Thank you, Chip.
Well, guys, as we get to these champion drives, and I'm going to let Randy tell you a little bit about where we land in this particular group, bring a second-place pen back in here in a minute. But first thing I'll tell you, and just to echo Chip's comments, it doesn't take anything more than just look around, and see the excitement, the amount of people that are around here to check out this event, and it is exciting. Your breed is in such an incredible place, and the demand and the things that you as breeders have accomplished with these cattle is really for people outside of your breed. It's really exciting, to be able to share our thoughts, but even more so, to look and see what your breed has accomplished, in recent years, and what you've done, not only in the seed stock side of things, but how you influence the commercial industry and the importance of your breed, and it's reflected in your cattle. They haven't all been the same kind. I think that's what's really neat about what we have had a chance to look at, is you can totally see how different breeders are approaching, some of their programs and where they choose to put their emphasis. And as a result of that, you see cattle that are doing the job that they're designed to do for their customer base, and that's exciting for you as potential buyers. And came to Denver for the first time when I was about 10 years old, and I remember being on the hill watching shows that oftentimes had standing room only situations. We don't always see that all the time, and to get down here in the yards and to see the appreciation that you have as breeders, potential buyers, even people outside of the breed, that's pretty exciting. So Mike, hats off to you, and compliments to all the exhibitors who have been part of this particular division. I know we got more to go, but this has been really, really exciting for us to have a chance, and I'll turn it over to Randy to share some of our thoughts on these class winners and eventually our champions. So give these exhibitors one more nice round of applause, and I'll let Randy tell you what we think.
Wow. The quality out here was, I'll reiterate what Chris said, the quality out here is unbelievable. I mean, this Simmental breed is on a roll right now, and as you can see around the ring, or inside the ring, absolutely anything you guys want to do from a breeder's standpoint, you've seen it at one point today. We've seen quality cattle built different kinds, different ways that can function in a lot of different genres. But the bottom line is we've seen a lot of good beef cattle in as strong of a breed that we see in the beef industry today. You guys are really doing it right. You have a consistent product, and the sky's the limit for you guys, really. We've been impressed with the cattle all day. Chris teaches, I want to compliment the guys in the back, the guys at home. I know at our house today was -4. They were struggling to start tractors. Somebody's at home doing that too. It starts there, comes out here, there's guys in the back. I know it takes a big team to get all these cattle to the ring, and I appreciate everybody in the back. I appreciate everybody out here. It's been a first-class show, and we're just truly, truly, truly impressed with the cattle we've seen today as well as the breeders. With that being said, we're not going to talk a whole lot about the cattle. We've kind of talked them all along the way today. Like we said, there's cattle that can perform on paper. There's cattle that have more look when they walk out here. We were discussing as we finished up the show, we're going into the last class. We really weren't sure which one we were going to use, and that speaks volumes to the quality of cattle that were brought out here today. There's individuals in each of these pens that are going to make an impact in this breed, and that's up to you guys as breeders to go out and find them and find what works for your program. But with that being said, we weren't sure after we came through the first 4 classes, but when that 5th class came in, we were sure. That's going to be your champion today, coming out of Class 5. When you can look at a group of 3 bulls that are that consistent, lean, shapely, good-looking in a group of 3, it was kind of game over. Just the consistency, the quality, the look, they're going to go ahead and be your champion today. And we think it gets awfully close for reserve. A lot of quality all the way down through these pens. We're going to come back with the group from Class 1 to go ahead and be your reserve champion today.
Champion of our Purebred Pen of 3 contest today goes to Genetics Plus out of Tecumseh, Nebraska. The reserve champion is Hicks Cattle Company from Covington, Indiana. Congratulations. We'll take a few minutes to take pictures. While that's happening, Wade Schaefer. Wade Schaefer, you're wanted on the mic. Executive Vice President of the American Simmental Association, Wade Schaefer, would like him to come in and say a few words about the Simmental business today.
So again, I guess Kurt needs some time to kill, so I'm up at the microphone. Anyway, I want to promote, we've got tonight, for any of you interested and have time and are willing, we've got our gala, and that starts at 6:30. 6:30, we've got food and fun, lots of fun. Want to invite you to that. Of course, we've got the next several days, several events that are going on here. And the Colorado Simmental Association is in supporting of all of that. And like to give them a hand. I was just talking to somebody about how small the Colorado Simmental Association is in numbers, but how big they are when it comes to pulling these big events off. It's amazing. So give them all a hand. So, what other events do you want? What other events do you got? Talk about Simmental. So, I did. Sure. So, as you all know, Simmental is probably experiencing its peak in popularity and acceptance from the commercial industry. And I commend you all, you breeders. You're certainly the reason for that. You've got cattle now. We've got cattle that make commercial cattlemen money. And there's no secret about that. We know that when we talk to the cow-calf people, when we talk to the feedlots, they now want Simmental cattle. And that's, of course, a fairly new phenomenon, at least over the last 10 years, that has picked up steam. There was a time, we know, that Simmental was not in acceptance among the commercial industry, but it certainly is now. And as I said, that's kudos to you members, to you breeders for making that happen. Our cattle now calve easily. They grow to a moderate size. They grow fast, and they don't. Just saw some data coming from the USDA Meat Animal Research Center that showed that Simmental are actually smaller at mature size than Hereford, Angus, and Red Angus. And that's a fact, and that's something I think that needs to get out. We need to get the information out. I'm a big data proponent, and that's a piece of data I think that really needs to be pushed out to the public, because I think the average commercial cattleman, if you were to tell them that Simmental is actually smaller mature size than the British breeds, I think you'd have a hard time selling that point. But we've got facts. We've got Meat Animal Research Center data, not our own data, Meat Animal Research Center data that shows that Simmental has moderated the size of the cow. And that's, again, kudos to you members for doing that. And of course, they're in demand in the feedlot because of their ability to marble and yet yield. That's one thing the British cattle don't have, but it also is the combination of British, continental, as USDA has been saying for many, many years, is ideal. You've got top-level yield grade that way, and also marbling, and when you have high-level marbling coming from the continental side. So anyway, I don't know if I've killed enough time, Kurt. You need more? Less than enough? So anyway, again, we want you to come tonight. We've got an entertainment We've got entertainment set up. We've got food. We've got all kinds of fun. And bring your money, Roger. We'll have a good time.
Thank you, Wade. Make sure you bring your checkbook too. Yes. Again, really want to thank Wade and all the staff that are here today. I know I've introduced some of them. Chip has been up here. Luke Bowman. I've seen Luke's right back behind here. Darla Egerter, our junior advisor out here in the ring, has been helping today. Not sure what other staff we've got here today, but the staff is what really helps this organization run. They make sure the data gets in, that it's right, and that all your paperwork comes through, and they just do, I think, a great job. So we want to thank them as well. Again, we'll finish taking pictures here, and then we'll be right into our percentage show. Just got 2 classes of that, so we'll be done here before long and can do the Power Simmental selection. All right, starting on our percentage pin of 3 classes today. First bull in the ring comes from Dickinson Simmental at Gorham, Kansas. He's DS Brigade 19G, sired by SFI Brigade D21, calved on April the 16th. Dickinson Ranch is with ASA membership number 110, is a family-owned ranch currently running just over 600 head of registered Simmental, Sim-Angus, Angus, and Red Angus cows in west central Kansas. The second bull from Dickinson's is DS Mr. Numero Uno 85G, sired by a WLE Uno Moss X549, calved on April the 1st. Dickinson's put an extreme amount of selection pressure on carcass quality and the ability to calve unassisted in big open pastures of stockpiled grass and liquid protein. They must be able to get their calf up and going and flesh back to rebreed to stay within their calving window. Even their first calf heifers are calved in large pastures with only protein and stockpiled grass. After more than 20 years utilizing this low-input, low-maintenance program, Dickinson's have cows that efficiently produce calves for 12 to 14 years. Third calf in the ring from Dickinson's is DSMR 297C 153G, sired by DS KDZ 241R 297C, calved on April the 13th. Dickinson's sale, they'll be having their 49th production sale March 21st at the ranch in Gorham. They sure invite you to come out and check their offering of yearling bulls and a select group of open heifers. Pin averages on this pin: ribeye area 1.4, IMF of 3.25, fat thickness of 0.22, weight per day of age of 2.98, frame score 4.8, scrotal circumference 33.2. Average pin EPDs, calving ease 11.9, weaning 57, yearling 79. Maternal calving ease 5.4, maternal weaning 43, stayability 14, yield grade negative 0.37, marbling 0.08, 113 for an all-purpose index and 61 terminal index. Our next pin comes from Next Generation Farms at Pontiac, Illinois. This first bull in the ring is NXT Crossroad G910, sired by OBCC Pays to Believe 930B, calved on March 31st. This is a Power Simmental entry. You can see the blue tag in his ear. This is a Power Simmental entry. Next Generation Farms, again, is from Pontiac, Illinois. They have an all-registered cow herd. Tony Drock and Joy Parr Drock, along with their kids Ty and Ellie, run Next Generation Farms, raising corn, soybeans, and cattle. Second bull from Next Generation is NXT SHA's MAGA G911, sired by OBCC CMFM Deplorable D148, calved on March 21st. Their herd consists of 25 registered Simmental and percentage Simmental cows, focusing on maternal traits and performance. Sales are private treaty. They use sex semen, embryo transplant, and IVF to maximize quality in their small herd. In fact, they have 20% of last year's calf crop here with them today. Visit them at yard pen 2534 or on the hill later this week. Third bull from Next Generation is NXT Cornerstone G908, sired by WC Loaded Up 1119Y, calved on March 25th. Pin averages, ribeye area of 1.28 square inches per 100 pounds of body weight, 3.34 average IMF, 0.21 fat thickness. Average weight per day of age of 3.34 with a frame score of 5.2 and a scrotal circumference of 34.3. Pin EPD averages, calving ease 13.6, weaning weight 59, yearling weight 85, maternal calving ease 6.6, maternal weaning weight 49, stayability 11.6, yield grade negative 0.41, marbling 0.07, API 120, and TI of 67. Lee Simmental Farms from Columbia, Missouri is back again. Their leadoff bull in this pen is LLSF Game Point G929. This whole pen is sired by PVF Blacklist 7077. Look at their numbers. I assume these are all embryo brothers. This calf was born on March the 23rd. Lee Simmental Farms is located in central Missouri, just 10 miles east of Columbia. Jerry and Barb run a 200-head cow-calf operation and focus on sound, functional cattle that will work in any environment. Second bull in this pen from Lee's is LLSF Game Plan G141, calved on March the 20th. Embryo transplant and artificial insemination are used extensively. They have a female sale in November of each year and a bull sales in March. Embryos and cattle are also sold throughout the year, private treaty, and visitors are always welcome. Anchor bull for Lee's is LLSF Gladiator G703, again sired by PVF Blacklist 7077. Pin averages, ribeye area 1.27, IMF of 3.81, fat thickness of 0.35. This pin has a average weight per day of age of 3.73 with a 4.9 frame score and a 39.3 scrotal circumference. Pin average EPDs at 10.7, cavities 76 on weaning, 117 on yearling, with a 5.3 maternal cavities and a 61 maternal weaning weight. Their average stability EPD is 12.8, with a negative 0.26 yield grade, 0.11 marbling, 112 for all-purpose index, and 70 for terminal index. No. Wait a minute, I might have one. Susan, I might have one.
Otherwise, I'll just take scratch paper.
Okay. There's scratch paper. You got the paper? Okay. Final pin in this subclass comes from Wayne and Barb Ulrichs at Norfolk, Nebraska. Their leadoff bull is OHL Godfather 4168-1G, calved on March the 4th. The Ulrichs are on Simmental, Angus, Keys, and Maines. They have 2 online steer and female sales in the fall, and their annual bull sale is in February. Wayne and Barb's cow-calf operation is located in northeast Nebraska. They run primarily 3 different breeds, Angus, Simmies, and Key Maines. They host 3 sales a year. Again, the steer and heifer sale in September, female sale in November, all for the show circuit online sales. And in February, they'll have their annual bull sale this year. That's February the 7th. Second bull from Ulrichs is OHL Good Time 6192G. Sired by FHEN Halftime A127, calved March the 21st. Again, the Ulrich sale this year, their bull sale is Friday, February the 7th. The visitors are always welcome. Come by their pen. Come check the sample out of their bulls. You can see them right here as well. Final bull in this class comes from Ulrichs, OHL Game Plan 7140, sired by WC Nightwatch 84E, calved on March the 4th. Pin averages, ribeye area 1.26, ultrasound IMF of 3.92 with a 0.35 fat thickness. Average weight per day of age is 3.92 with a 5.6 frame score and a 38.5 scrotal circumference. Pen average EPDs, calving ease 12.5, weaning weight 71, yearling weight 103. They have a 6.9 maternal calving ease average with a 57 maternal weaning weight, a 12.3 on stability. Average yield grade EPD is a negative 0.28 with a 0.25 marbling EPD, a 121 API, and a 72 terminal index.
All right, Kurt. He doesn't toot his own horn. This is about his bull sale. This is about him. Thanks to Willie, because this is all he was going to give me was about his bull sale. So good luck.
That's all right.
We get to our percentage pens here. Again, wonderful place to start off in this division, and 4 really nice pens. And again, you've got some variation in terms of, size, performance at this stage. Some greener bulls, in a pen or two, but I think some good cattle down the line. Let's go ahead and bring that pen 4 on out for us. That's going to be our class-winning pen. Give them a nice round of applause as they come up here. Yeah, Randy and I, we really like this pen, and honestly, probably in terms of just, hip, hind leg structure, quality of feet, flexibility, and the way that they handle themselves off of their rear skeleton, probably about as good as anything we've seen in a group all day. And they back it up with quality. They're cattle that have obviously been performance driven, and still, whether you're looking at their actual performance information or you work your way across to those EPD and index values, just pretty consistent and nice across the board. Quality set of bulls there. Congratulations to that breeder. Really, really nice set of cattle. We're going to bring those full sibs out. Pen 3. Go ahead and bring them out. Guys, if you really want to study these cattle, you want to find a slight edge to that one, and I don't know how they were close, but I think relative to their frame, those set of bulls probably have even a notch more real muscle shape in them. Moderate, they're really, really got a nice turn and shape as you study them up high. Big hipped cattle. I think they fit together well. I think that's, again, a set of bulls that you can't help but to appreciate the good that they bring to the table. And once again, just both of those pens are really backed with just very solid, balanced performance values. I think 2 really, really good pens here that lead things off. We're going to move there to pen number 2, and we can go ahead and bring those cattle out. Probably a little more performance in those cattle relative to the final pen here today. Just a little stouter in terms of bone work and substance, but cattle that have some balance and quality to them. You look at them relative to maybe this top couple pens, and they don't maybe hit you as hard in terms of just sheer masculinity and dimension yet, but those are cattle that sure have some quality, and actually a leadoff bull that's really, really got a look and some attractiveness to them. A nice trio of bulls there as well. And our final group here, as we mentioned, a little greener in terms of their composition, but still cattle fundamentally, I think, have some value. A couple of them in there that read with some calving ease value. They have the look of calving ease cattle as you start to study them, up through their front end, the way they come into their shoulder. I think some merit in that regard as well. Again, really 4 good sets here in our percentage pen of 3. Give those breeders one more nice round of applause here. Excellent way to start off this division.
Thank you, Chris. First place in subclass A of the percentage pen of 3 goes to Wayne and Barb Ulrichs of Norfolk, Nebraska. Second to Lee Simmental Farms, Columbia, Missouri. Third, Next Generation Farms, Pontiac, Illinois. Fourth to Dickinson Ranch at Gorham, Kansas. Want to remind you we have the Penn heifer show tomorrow. Penn Simmental and Sim Angus heifer show tomorrow. Starts at 8 a.m. Right here. And sure welcome you to come back. It's got a number of nice pens of heifers to display tomorrow as well. And have more Power Simmental heifers to select from as well. Got another class out there? We got cows that are close. Two first. So Lee's. Okay. Okay, slight change in our program. We're going to start with Lee's Cattle Company from Brush, Colorado in this class. Again, this is not Vogler's. This will be Lee's. Vogler's will be here. We're going to start with Lee's so we can keep things moving. First bull in the ring is Lee's Kingman 9030, sired by a Kaler Kingsman 610D. All the bulls in this pen are sired by Kingsman, and they appear to be full embryo brothers. Lee's Cattle Company is located in Brush, Colorado. It's owned by John Lee. Their bull sale is March the 9th. It'll be 1 o'clock in Brush, selling about 120 bulls, 82-year-olds, and 40 yearlings. Lee's run Black Simmental, Sim Angus, Red Sim Angus, Angus, and Red Angus. They run about 1,200 cows like commercial cows. They've been ranching in the Brush area for 20 years and has been in the cattle business all his life. Second bull from Lee's is Lee's Kingsman 9063. This bull was calved on February the 12th. For those of you with cattle on the hill, check in this year for show cattle. For the cattle on the hill will be down here, right here in this building, just up here at the south end at the tables, doing check-in here. It's all paper check-in this year, other than spot checks on tattoos. Don't bring your cattle down. Bring your paperwork. Come down and get checked in for the hill shows on Tuesday and Wednesday, this afternoon from 1 to 2:30, I believe it is, or anytime now. Third bull from Lee's is Lee's Kingsman 9050, calved on February the 11th. Pen averages Ribeye area 1.24 square inches per 100 pounds of body weight. IMF of 4.36 and a fat thickness of 0.4. This pin had a weight per day of age of 3.7 with a 4.9 frame score and a 39 scrotal circumference. Pin average EPDs, calving knees 10.3, weaning weight 74, yearling weight 117, maternal calving knees 4.4, maternal weaning weight 55, stayability 12.4. Average yield grade EPD, negative 0.25, marbling 0.21, all-purpose index of 118, and terminal index of 73. Oh. Okay, correction. The Vogler pin, first pin that was listed on here, is a scratch. So we'll just have 2 pins in this class, Lees and Rubies. Immediately after this class, we'll have the selection of the Grand and Reserve Champion, percentage pins of 3. And then we'll start in on the Power Simmental selection, starting with the Purebreds. We'll bring the 7 Purebred selections in here for you to rank. Then we'll bring in the 2 pure percentage bulls. All right, the leadoff bull for Rubies in this class is Ruby's Turnpike 925G, sired by Ruby's Turnpike 771E. He was calved on January the 4th. Ruby Cattle Company is owned by Nate, Leslie, and Creed Ruby. Nate manages the ranch with help from herdsman Miles Eddy. They run 400 head of registered Simmental, Sim-Angus, and Angus cows in Murray, Iowa. This year, their bull sale is the first Saturday in February, which is February the 1st at Lamoni, Iowa. They also have a female sale on Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, held at the ranch. Ruby Cattle Company is located in the rolling hills of southern Iowa. They utilize embryo transfer and extensive AI in their operation. They strive to raise functional, sound, eye-appealing, profitable cattle for their valued customers. Second bull from Ruby's is Ruby's Significant 924G, sired by WBF Significant 8132, calved on January 3. The Rubies welcome visitors to pin 2336 or at the ranch anytime. This is the 14th year for them to be exhibiting here at the yards in Denver. Final bull from Ruby Cattle Company in this class is Ruby CEO 905G, sired by CDI CEO 281D, calved on New Year's Day a year ago. Pin averages: ribeye area 1.25, intramuscular fat of 3.61, fat thickness of 0.28. Average weight per day of age of 3.13, with a 4.7 frame score and a 37.3 scrotal circumference. Pin average EPDs of 10.6 for calving ease, 81 for weaning weight, 123 for yearling weight, 4.2 for maternal calving ease, 60 maternal weaning weight, average stayability of 15.5, yield grade minus 0.35, marbling of 0.19, average all-purpose index of 131, and terminal index of 79.
Just two groups here to finish up our show, and I think a real logical decision, not to take anything away from that second pair, but that second trio, but this first group is tremendously, tremendously good. You want to talk about just stout, rugged beef bulls, big-footed, big-boned, wide-based cattle that just have a world of power and dimension. Love their IMF figures, cattle that are easy doing and gonna look like they're going to go out and breed cows and maintain themselves. Just really true high-quality beef bulls that offer a lot of things to hang your hat on. Easy class winner, we like them a lot. Like I said, nothing to take away from that second group. You guys get back in the pens, and there's one really good individual in this group, and I think the entire trio are cattle that have a lot of usefulness. You can turn them out, and they're going to get things done that you need to get done. But again, really big congratulations to this class winner. Look forward to seeing them back out here. Really good pair. My compliments to the exhibitor.
Thank you, Randy. First place in subclass B goes to Lee's Cattle Company from Brush, Colorado, with second to Ruby Cattle Company of Murray, Iowa. We'll now have our selection of our champion and reserve champion. Percentage pins of 3. Do what?
While our judges are pulling in the champion drive, I'd like to remind you can buy your silver People's Choice Powerball tickets or Power Simmental ticket now. Your odds are much better than the lottery, let me tell you, because we give the breeder that wins $10,000. We are not there. Colorado has 27 members, and we are not there. We need a little more publicity and buy-in in this, apparently, because I don't have $10,000 worth of tickets sold right now. Your odds are 1 in 50 at this moment, believe it or not, 1 in 50. I need to sell some more tickets, so please come down and see me. If you have any questions on how we play the game, just ask.
Thank you, Susan. Again, this pin in the ring was the first place winner in subclass A from Wayne and Barb Ulrichs at Norfolk, Nebraska. Again, you got a chance to own that bull for a $100 investment. Going to bring in our second place pins here as well for the selection of reserve champion. This pin comes from Lee's Simmental Farms in Columbia, Missouri, not to be confused with Lee's Cattle Company at Brush, Colorado. I don't know. I've announced it, but I don't know. Again, if you have Power Simmental entries, be ready to come back in here as soon as we have our selection of Grand and Reserve here. We'll be bringing in the Purebreds first.
Again, as we get ready to select your champion here in this percentage show, again, not the numbers we had in the Purebred deal, but certainly impressed with the quality, particularly on the top end. A lot of useful cattle. Again, you as breeders need to get back to these pens and study them, because whatever you need, it's back there. You know, and whatever you need to punch into your program, I have no doubt with the group of cattle that we've seen today, you can find it, and you can find it very well. With that being said, again, I'd like to thank the Simmental Association for having Chris and I out here today. You know, we've both judged a lot of shows, and we've actually never had the opportunity to judge a show together. This is the very first time. For all the places each of us have been individually. My mom got to come see us today, so we appreciate that and really enjoyed ourselves today. You guys have a first-class association. And as I said before, the sky's the limit. The way this breed's on a roll, you guys have a lot of opportunity and a lot of quality to back it up with. Thank you again for having me.
Well, I echo those thoughts from Randy. And first of all, a special thanks to the Simmental Association for allowing us to do this together. Secondly, I thank Randy for agreeing to come out here and be part of it with me. And it's not like he didn't have enough to do here at the National Western this week. And I'll throw kudos to him. Last night he was the breeder and exhibitor of the national champion Hereford female, and I was just hopeful he'd get out of bed this morning to come help me. But this has really been fun, and they were asking us a couple questions when we were taking pictures here a second ago, and many may not even know Randy and I grew up in Maryland, and the opportunities that we've been fortunate enough to have growing up, and the people that have influenced our life has been such a whirlwind, and how we could have ever expected to get to this point, I don't know. But our mom sitting up here in the stands was here to watch things yesterday, and what our parents did for us growing up and the opportunities that we had to develop just a skill set and a passion for this. You know, we didn't have the same opportunities maybe that some young people in this part of the country grew up with, but we did figure out how to love it and have passion for it. Now I watch what my brother does every day and making a breeding program just better and better year by year. And I got to follow my passion in a different part, and yet to come out here together and share our thoughts on a group of cattle that have been outstanding and a set of breeders that obviously have the same passion for what they do as we do in our everyday lives. And you know, that's really been fun for us. And I had several friends say, well, gosh, this is the first time you guys, we know both of you. How are you going to get along? How are you going to be able to do that? And I will tell you, I told them from day one, we will see every single animal that walks through that ring exactly the same. I knew we would. And whether we agreed every time, I did not know. We had one pair that I think we would have switched, a second and third place pair in a pen together that we might have switched from one another. And yet we both knew it was close enough that it really didn't probably matter in that particular case. We've seen the cattle exactly the same, and most importantly, we have seen what you as breeders should be incredibly appreciative about your breed and the direction that you are taking. So we thank the association. This has been really fun. I will tell you, there are two absolutely phenomenal pens to be champion and reserve. If both of these breeders, exhibitors came here with a pen they thought could be the champion here at the National Western Stock Show, they deservingly thought that. And I think the world of both of these class-winning pens. Take nothing away from our second-place pens because they're outstanding as well. But these two pens are pretty special up here, and I hope you as breeders appreciate them. Potential buyers get the chance to get back there and take a look at them. It's not about a lead bull and an anchor bull. It's three damn good bulls in both pens. So congratulations to both those two. Our second class winner is going to be our champion pen of 3. First class winner is going to be reserved.
Grand champion bull goes to Lee's Cattle Company, Brush, Colorado. Grand champion percentage pen of 3. Reserve champion is Wayne and Barb Ulrichs from Norfolk, Nebraska. Again, anchor bull in that grand champion pen is a Power Simmental. If you haven't bought your ticket, now's your chance. You've got a chance to own that bull for $100. We'll take pictures, and then we'll get these bulls out here just as quick as possible. So exhibitors, we need you to get your power bulls up here. That would be Shockey Farms with 952G, Jackpot Cattle Company with 608G, Hicks Cattle Company with 9080G, Vestlane Farms with 4G, Kaler Cattle Company with G7, Gertis Show Cattle with 208G, and Dickinson Ranch with 19G. Then we'll need the 2 percentage bulls from Lee's and from Next Generation. Okay. He's a percentage, so we can start right away. So we will be bringing the purebred bulls in here right away. The bull that was in this last class is a percentage, so we're going to do the purebreds first. You can get down here and get up close and personal with these bulls and find the ones you like.